Shoot, I have even made a lot of money. Roberts? Yeah? Do you have, like, a script for a sequel to 47 Years Down? Yeah, I do, right here. This is just the same script as the first movie. Oh, yeah, hold on. I could just... what are you doing? I'm just changing the characters, the location, the type of shark, and just adding a couple of characters. They won't really have much effect, but yeah. Here you go. But they'll note it. Whatever. That'll work the first time. Hi, I know I'm in pajamas. That's because the recording didn't work, so I had to redo this. And I only have a couple days to edit this video, so. Anyway, 47 Years Down Uncaged, which would make sense if they're in a cage in this movie, then freed from it, but I guess that's to show that they're not even in a cage anymore. And the trailer even says how, you'll wish you're in a cage, even though the first movie was exactly about why that's bad. Like, now you can move around freely, there's tons of space, and there's air pockets, instead of lots of darkness, limited air, and when you try to get extra, you could hallucinate, and 2 people instead of 4 to fight off the sharks, and just in general. And you're pretty much stuck from everyone else, whereas these people have a couple ways to help themselves. So the point is, the title, like the kind of like the tagline and the catchphrase of the trailer, if you want to call it that, don't even make sense, so that's kind of worrying. But whatever, this one's more entertaining than the first one, but not in a good way. Let's get into the film. The film starts with pointless slow-mo that goes on for a good minute there. No point. Just no point. Goes on for a minute or so. Yeah, like I said. And that just seems really pretentious. Turns out it's this girl named Mia that got pushed, I guess, into a pool of water by the beta bitch Catherine, who's only in the movie for like 20 to 30 seconds, so it's fine if you forget her existence by the next time you see her, which is like the end of the movie. Of course, she's getting bullied to replace any actual personality. That's the fastest way to make me care about the characters. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's extremely lame. Please set up like an actual arc or something. Otherwise, I'm gonna get bored. We then get a repeated version of the first movie's wine looking like blood turning into a title card. It's very specific, I know, but it's kind of like how one reviewer said how Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension was like Paranormal Activity's greatest hits. This feels like it. You got that with the wine, like the blood title card, kind of like the first movie, the running out of air extremely quickly, tons of annoying ass screaming, cool flare scene, stuff like that. I'll get to that later, but it feels like its greatest hits, but just a little less annoying, but still kind of annoying. Mia and this girl named Sasha get into a car, and Sasha's mom is driving, I think her name is Jennifer. I'll call her that. They get to their house, and we all meet the kill fodder characters. Jennifer's husband, Grant, and those 2 boys, Ben and Carl. Good? Great, now forget about their existence for 20 minutes. We get a dinner scene where Carl gives Mia a tooth from a shark they found in the tunnels. This film will take place in soon, which makes Carl tell them what he's doing down there, which is mapping out the place, etc. And Carl says Mia was the cutest scuba diver ever, and how she looked like a sea monkey. Are you talking about like the actual like shrimp thing? Like the yeah, hold up. Sea monkeys. Money. No, that's not what I meant. Money. Sea monkeys. Like, are you talking about the brine shrimp? Or the toy? Because if it's the first one, that's a pretty rude insult, Carl. The next day, Sasha and Mia go on this boat thing to see a shark, but Nicole and Alexa show up and convince them to go into their car. They swim around before finding Ben and Carl's scuba gear and, scuba gear and usage to try to swim, but Nicole goes first despite Alexa being in the cave before. Great, how long until this dumbass character dies? How far are we into this movie? Are you serious? Great. Amazing. Also, they talk underwater again. Do I need to explain how that won't work and how that's incredibly stupid? No, I don't, so I won't. Or if you really need me to explain it, if you don't want to get the review, there's no earpieces, so how would they hear each other? They just hear the water. Like, what? They get into the cave and Alexa points out how there's air pockets which you can use to breathe when there's no more air. They get further until they meet a screaming fish. Yes, you heard that right. A jump-scaring, screaming fish. Johannes. Do you know how fishes work? As a result, a stone column is knocked over, producing a lot of soap before we get a fake jump scare from Ben, who promptly dies from a surprise shark attack, like the first death in the movie. And this is also the first death in the movie. How did nobody hear the shark swimming and see it? You know, peripheral vision exists. Why do so many movies seem to forget that? Also, hold up, how do the sharks survive this long in this area? I know there's a bunch of fish, but sharks need to eat a lot, so how the hell does that work? The tunnel collapses and blocks them from leaving, and they check their air, with one of them having as low as 35% in this short amount of time. They started diving 20 minutes into the film, and we're 32 minutes into the film. So 12 minutes of movie takes up, like, 65% of your air? If my math is correct. Don't mind me, I'm stupid. But, like, what? How? And we're 32 minutes into the movie, and they get out of, like, the cave, like, 70 minutes into the movie, almost. So that's, like, what? That's over 30 more minutes. And in less than half that time, they've lost over half their air. I know it sounds really confusing, just how they lost that much air. How little air did they have in their tanks? This just doesn't make any sense. It's like the bullshit they pulled from Deep 47 Meters Down, except they actually got an extra can of air, or tank of air. But still, it was still stupid in that movie. But this is even worse. And somehow they're able to stretch that 35% of air out to this long, like the rest of the movie, despite, what? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. They follow a line down some stairs, but the line is ripped. They get attacked by a surprise jump scare shark, but makes a weird groaning noise, even though sharks can't do that. Johannes, do you know how any fishes work? Sharks, anything like that? We then see Carl listening to music, despite knowing there's sharks down there, and he's doing something. Something I don't know, doesn't matter, as he gets killed off screen. Give me an alarm going off that's super duper annoying. Ben finds her in another lane, Grant, I'm stupid. Carl finds her in another lame fake jump scare, and turns out a shark was near, but they never saw it or heard it swimming. Once again. Okay? The other girls help distract the shark, and the shark misses the girls for literally no reason. Some of them don't even move or try to evade the shark's movements, unlike sometimes in the first movie. Still, they don't do it that much in the first movie, but still, some of them aren't even moving that much. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, wait a minute. How long are we into this movie? Oh, 45 minutes or so? Shoot. No, 50 or so minutes? Damn it. We have to wait. We have to wait until one of the main characters does a stupid thing. They lose the shark through a small tunnel and find an open area within the center. And this is where I want to point out, why is this film called 47 meters down? When most of the time, they're only a couple meters down, if even. Probably not even half that. Probably like 20-something. Probably not even half of 47 meters down. Oh wait, brand recognition. Alexa starts going on up, but since there's sharks under them, don't know how, but okay. Nicole starts being an idiot and going on the center as well. I mean, if you've been able to evade the sharks for this long, which is like 50-something minutes of the film, why the hell are you freaking out? Oh wait. So the film doesn't end 50-something minutes into the movie. Or the film isn't like a short film. And so that more people can die. Because so far only like 2 people died. Which is the same amount as the first movie, but I guess they want to be bigger. Really, you could find a better way, like, I don't know, the shark jumping out and killing Alexa while ripping the line, because sharks can do that. They can't jump out of the water. You do know that, right? Wait, concerning the fact that you think sharks can make groaning noises, I'm not really sure. Alexa goes headfirst into the water still in the ascender and decides to scream, getting tons of water in her mouth instead of, pulling herself up. But she does, of course, in the nick of time because she can't die yet. Nicole has to, which she does after some bad CGI ascenders fall and she falls to the ground like the greedy dumbass she always was. Just kidding. She was kind of a dumbass, but she wasn't an asshole that would step over other people for most of the film. It should have been, like, set up before foreshadowed. This just feels incredibly forced, just to make the movie long enough to be, like, an actual film. It just feels so stupid and forced. Again, do the thing where the shark jumps out and kills Alexa or something like that, or one of the characters. instead of this forced-ass bullshit that's just so stupid. Nobody will act like that. I get they're scared, but you do realize that two people can't go on the ascender, and she goes so incredibly slow. I mean, if you're going to do that, at least get up faster, so if it falls, you can reattach it to the rock again and then help them get up. I mean, yeah, they'll probably still be mad at you for being selfish, but you could have gone up faster instead of literally clinging to one loose-ass rock instead of, oh, I don't know, clinging to something else that's more steady, like, you know, actual fucking ground. You decide to be a goddamn idiot and hang on to a clinging rock and just stand there being like, ah, I'm so scared, what do I do? And then cause the ascender to fall like an idiot. Come on, make me care for these characters instead of making me root for the sharks. Because the only people that aren't assholes are Ben, Carl, and Grant, and they're just kill fodder characters that are in it for like 5 seconds. It's sad when the only somewhat likable characters are still kind of unlikable and generic, because Carl did that fake-ass jump scare, which is so annoying. I meant Grant, but still, just stop! Stop making your characters so stupid! I could easily rewrite these films to make them so much better. In fact, I might just do that in my free time. Anyway, she gets ripped in half because now there's 2 sharks, and she did the same thing as Alexa with screaming underwater instead of going up like a moron. Grant says other sharks are gone and says how he's the only one who knows where the entrance is, despite earlier mentioning that he had a team of archaeologists that was going to come soon. You weren't going to give them the coordinates to the entrance in case something bad happened, or in case you couldn't come? Or like, you forgot it? I mean, you bothered to create an alarm system to find lost divers, so why not do something like this that's way easier? Oh wait, so that they're stuck and the movie won't immediately end. Brent dies after also giving a speech that's kind of like motivational in Deep Blue Sea, or that's like Deep Blue Sea. Wow, your originality and intelligence in writing and plot, it's like truly astounding. It's like grade A tier. Also, the shark looks like a pool shark for some reason, despite this movie having a $12 million budget, I think. Like, hold up. I think so, hold on. 47 meters down, Uncaged. What was the budget of the movie? It was like $12 million. Yeah, $12 million. How does your shark look that weird? It looks like a pool shark, and then when it goes down to the water in CGI again, I think, it looks much better. So what the hell? Was that also CGI? But it looked like a pool shark, because it just looks so weird. I don't know, it made me laugh the first time. They swim down. Why all of a sudden is the water so dark? It's like pitch black, and the lights aren't doing anything. Oh wait, so that they can replicate that flare scene from the first movie like I mentioned earlier. Whoa, so cool, except it's an eyesore to look at because it's constantly beeping. I mean, it's like, and looks like there's different shots, so it's like constantly moving around. I'm like, what? It's like an eyesore and it's so confusing. I know it's a small nitpick, it's still kind of a cool scene, but it just feels like, really? Can't you do something a bit original? And what? Should have set up the water as being pitch black already, or just done something different. Maybe they were dragged way down into the part where sunlight couldn't reach them. Instead, they're literally below an open area where there's tons of sunlight. How is it so goddamn pitch black? After they find a spinning water tornado almost, how did it come here? That's not how currents work, or spinning cyclones work. Sasha tries holding on to Mia, but eventually goes down the current, and Alexa gets grabbed by the shark. And instead of punching in the eye like a smart person, she does the moronic thing and take off her air mask, or air tank and mask, and again screams underwater. She's gonna run out of air quicker. She eventually dies in a kind of realistic way that reminds me of the Poison Dawn remake, where Kurt Russell, spoilers, drowned. It's pretty realistic and kind of cool. Mia finds Sasha, and they eventually get out of the place and swim up to find the boat from earlier. Interesting. How long have they been there? And the open area of water wasn't too far away from this place, because basically all they've gone through, all they've moved is basically just down into this current area. So the open place of water must be really close, because they didn't move that much for these last 10 minutes. They're just mainly going down with the flare scene, and then going into that current, which is close to that area. So they must have heard them screaming or the alarm. I mean, I know it's not super duper loud, but they must have heard something. Nicole screaming. Anything? They didn't hear anything? Okay. And then this scene, man, it's just so stupid on so many levels. This guy chumming the water apparently doesn't see the main characters, despite, you know, having peripheral vision and them being not too far away and splashing like crazy. How the hell does that work? And nobody in the underwater part of the Great White Feeding Boat doesn't see them either. I get it, you can't see that far in the water, but they're still above the water and splashing around. You don't see that? And, you know, I get he has AirPods or whatever in his ear, but you could still hear them. If they're splashing loud enough, you could probably hear them. The girls get repeatedly grabbed and bitten by some sharks. Mia shoots a flare gun in slow-mo and also opens her mouth. What is with these characters and constantly opening their mouth and wasting air and causing tons of water to go in? What? Is everyone retarded in this movie's universe? The film ends with a shark dying, I guess, and the two okay. Also, I just realized the sharks in the ending weren't the one from the cave or the tunnel. That's not a flaw, that just would have been nice had they been the ones, because these ones are just completely random sharks, so it doesn't feel as important. It's not like, oh wow, you finally got revenge for all your, friend's death. No, it's just some other random sharks, I think. Cool. Movie finally ends. Great. This movie is complete trash. It's entertaining at times, but it's in an ironic sense. This movie's trying to be serious, I believe, like the first one, but it's just so stupid and annoying. The characters scream so much, it just gets boring. It's kind of boring, but most of the time it's entertaining, and it just gets annoying after a while. The characters, I could have easily rewritten this scene. There's just so many ways that this movie could have been rewritten. Why the hell do I talk like that? To be better, so the characters aren't as stupid. But of course, that requires effort. Hope I enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next video.